I didn't actually do meth, guys. It was all a lie.
As I walk this pier, got my head to the ground as I wonder, how did it get here? Headphones on my ears cause I'm over the sound of the judgment, scared to express fear. I've been running in 6th gear, I'm not proud of the burnout, I'ma make this clear. I shed tears cause I feel I am bound to the darkness beyond, I've been down like 6 years.
Sweet. G-Rebel, tell us about Love Kills.
Love Kills, yo. Okay, I'm so proud of this project. I've been yapping on about this non-stop for months. So Love Kills is my EP. It's 7 songs, 7 music videos. I think there's 3 of them out right now, or technically 4, but 1 dropped as a double. When you first watch the video, in the order that I've dropped it, it looks like I'm being violent for no reason. So I've gone to Beirut, I've tried to find this guy that's in Beirut summer. Then we kidnap him in BAB, and when you watch it off just face value, it looks like I'm crazy. But then if you watch the prequel that dropped, which is Hate That I Miss You, Hate That You're Fine, it shows that I was attacked first. So this guy has killed me, like he's come in, he's stabbed me in the chest and he's ripped my heart out. And then I get put into a coffin, I'm a corpse, I wake up and I find my heart in the forest and I put it back in my chest and I come back to life. And that's when I decide to go and get him in Beirut, because it's pretty much this theme of like, if I don't get him, he's going to get me. I think it's like, it's pretty typical of what does happen in domestic violence. Like it a lot of the time it will look like the chick is the crazy one, or I mean, whoever is the victim in the relationship is the crazy one. Or why don't they just leave? But it's a lot more complicated than that. People don't like to talk about domestic violence. It's a very heavy topic. The way I've done it in like this short film form with like a horror theme, I think it becomes more like ingestible to people.
It's important to paint the picture of how things ended up the way they are, right? And I think that's, domestic violence, but also just people in general. It's easy to look at a homeless person on the street that's a drug addict and go, oh, fucking junkie, homeless, like, oh, why don't you get a job, bum, whatever.
100%.
But it's like, man, to really help someone, you have to understand. And walking past
100%.
and going, get a job, fucking bum, whatever, that doesn't help in any way.
No, 100%.
And it's the same for domestic violence. Why didn't you leave? Why didn't you do this? It doesn't help. You need to understand the full picture.
You know, back to like that thing of like, you just don't know. Like, I think that's a big reason why I did drop the project in the order that I did, is because it's easy to look at someone on face value and go, you haven't been through this, you haven't been through that. That's not what's happening. Like, I can look at you and I can gauge the kind of person you are, the things you've been through, but it's not always like that. You don't know at the end of the day. Like, a term that I really like is like, you live in a dollhouse. On the surface, like when you look at a dollhouse, like they're all really beautiful and they're structured really nice and they're painted. But because kids are playing with them, when you open it up, the inside's all messy and all over the place and there's furniture everywhere. And it's like, a lot of us do live in this dollhouse where it's like, you look at somebody on face value and you think you know their story, you think you know what they've been through, you think you know what's going on in their home life. But the reality is, until you're on the inside, you don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%. No, it's a very big misconception, and I spoke before about this, may or may not even ever go in, maybe for the bloopers or whatever, or for the uncut version. But yeah, it's like people have started assuming things of me, and like there's people that have got issues with me apparently because who's this guy, like comes from a nice family, comes from money, is what is being said. But I've never spoken about where I come from. And in actual fact, I never had doors on my room. I never had electricity in my room. You know what I mean?
That's fucking crazy, man.
Right. And so I'm not saying I had the hardest life. I didn't. But it's like everyone's just, you got some things, you don't have other things. There's no like black or white, good or bad. It's like everyone just has a different life. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. And it's like I feel like society has almost made it like this competition.
Right. Yeah, right,
like,
right.
I've had it worse than you. You're not this, you're not that. I had it worse. I know people with worse. And it's like, is that a flex?
Yeah.
Like, does it really matter?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, people shouldn't have to struggle. It's unfortunate that people do, that people have trauma, that people have these things going on. And like, it's just become, it's become like this stigmatized, like, competition thing of like, I've got it worse, like one-upping people. And like, I don't know. I get that a lot too, man. Like, you would know. Like, I have people that look at me and will go like, she's a liar, she's never been through what she's been through. Or people that will look at me and go, oh, covered in tattoos, the way she acts, she's still on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, some people think I never touched anything. Some people think I'm still on it. And the reality is only I know.
Yeah, right.
Like, the reality is only I know, like, what I've actually really been through and, obviously my family. And, like, I just don't think it matters. Like, I share what I'm ready to share with people. And we're here for the music at the end of the day. Right. Like, our stories are a massive part of it. But I feel like the way we all, like, pick apart each other's stories these days, it's a very weird culture.
And look at it like this. you're making positive change in other people's life through your music. Whether it's one person, 100 people, 1,000 people,
Thank you.
you're making positive change. Now, people that are going around talking shit, spreading rumors, making assumptions, they're making negative change in people's lives.
They're fans.
Dig into the details and say this or that, or point out cracks or whatever you want to try and do. But at the end of the day, who's making positive change? Who's making negative change? Are you trying to help the world around you make a better place? Some people are, some people aren't.
No, that's it, exactly. And like, you know, Greeley, we love Greeley over
Shout out
here.
Greeley.
Shout out Greeley.
Yeah.
Greeley said something massive to me when I last caught up with him in Melbourne, which was just like, regardless of what people say, regardless of how people are interacting with you, G-Rebel is in their, like, G-Rebel's in their mouth. Pause.
Yep.
To fucking fuck everyone
right.
who's going to make a joke out of that. Like,
They're in G-Rebel's mouth or G-Rebel's
no,
in...
I'm in their mouth. Like,
You're
my
in their
name
mouth.
is in their mouth.
Right.
At the end of the day, people are talking about me. And,
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
thanks. Like,
Yeah.
thanks for the promo, man.
Yeah,
like,
that's
I don't
what it
really...
is.
I really couldn't give a shit what people say about me at this point.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, you
here
look
for
at
the art.
anyone that's really had a career in music or anything like that, right? Especially in hip-hop, they were polarizing.
Yeah.
Name someone that's had a career in music that people didn't hate.
Yeah, no...
You know what I mean?
Word.
So
yeah.
I think you're doing something right.
100%, that's it. And
It's-
it's
yeah,
same
go
with
on.
you. Like, if people,
Appreciate
if
it.
you've gotten to a point that now people have got assumptions about you, you've
Yeah.
made it.
Yeah,
Because, like, I
yeah.
always tell, like, I'll have, like rappers who are, like, underground or, like, myself, like, or just, like, kind of starting to venture into the scene. And because I'm really public about, like, the hate comments and shit that I get, like, obviously I'm an open book, they'll be like, oh, my God, like, I just got my first hate comment. How do I deal with this? And I'm
Right.
like, bro... congratulate yourself
Oh,
because
yeah.
you've made it. Like,
Yeah,
your first
yeah.
hate comment, you've made it, because if everybody likes you, you're doing something wrong.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah. You can't let hate get to you. I always say there's value in hate, and people look at me funny like that. But no, you got to take the emotion aside. And look, maybe this doesn't work for everyone, but this is what works for me. Put the emotion aside. Look at the hateful comments. If you want to ignore them too, you can do that. You don't have to dig at them. But I always like to look at them because it's a good reality check sometimes. Because sometimes they're actually like they're being an asshole, but they're actually kind of giving you constructive criticism.
Yeah.
In an asshole way, and you can still learn and grow from that sometimes. You know, and if you don't want to, don't. But I think there's value in hate, and you can get upset by it. But I try to use it as an opportunity to get thicker skin, and also what can I
Yeah.
learn from that? You know?
No, 100%. And I just kind of look at it like, at the end of the day, like, I'm still here in my studio doing what I want to do.
Yeah,
like, that's
G-Rebel
such a
Studio.
like G-Rebel Studio, yo. We got
Yeah.
all the artworks going on.
Yeah. Shout out for the space.
Shout out the space. Shout out Mount Druitt, bro.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I just go, like, I'm still doing what I want to be doing. Like, it's such an insignificant part of my life. And, like, at the end of the day, these people aren't contacting, half the time, they're not contacting me with, like, their real name. They're not coming to any of my shows. Like, everybody knows where I am most of the time.
Yeah.
No one's doing that. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you're hiding behind a keyboard. I don't
That's right.
really care that much. Like, it's not impacting my life.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah. Exactly.
that's it.
Is there anything else you want to say? Any shout outs? You've obviously got Love EP, Love. Why did I just forget it? Love Kills.
Love Kills,
Sorry.
that's the one.
Love Kills EP coming out next Friday. You said.
Yeah,
I'll try and
24th.
get this out before next Friday. Yeah, anything? Shout outs? Your Instagram? Anything at all?
As usual, shout out Haunts. And the reason I'm saying that is because this project had like 7 music videos. When we started this project, it literally started with like one video, and that video was BAB. And then when I decided that I wanted to make an EP and I wanted to turn this into a movie, we had to construct, because BAB was from the middle of it, we had to construct 6 other music videos to go around it and to tell this story. And there were so many boundaries, so many barriers that we just had to overcome, even on the days of filming. And like, Haunts went from, obviously he's my mate, but he went from like just being the videographer where I was just paying him for like videos that he was meant to be filming, to like being the creative director of the project and putting in like all of these hours to make things make sense, and picking up on things that we had to fix, and helping me like organize bookings and find like ways to do things out of the box within like a budget. Like, he went above and beyond for the project, and I'm so grateful, because if I was working with any other videographer, I wouldn't have been able to do the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't have done this project by myself. So massive shout out to Haunts for that.
That's sick.
Haunts Productions, get
Haunts
on
Productions.
it. Haunts
Some of
Productions.
I don't think I've seen better videography in Sydney, to be honest. I've never seen it.
This is what I'm saying, man, is like Horns is so slept on and he's so affordable. Like,
Yeah.
I say this to everyone is like, I don't just say this shit because he's my mate. Like, every single one of my mates pretty much is in the creative industry. But, like, there are some of them that I choose to have as part of, like, my inner team when I develop things. And that is for a specific reason. Like, his videos are affordable, but they come with, like, a massive quality that you're going to be getting from someone that you're going to be paying, like, $1,500 for.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, freelance artists can't really afford. So it's just dope. It's dope to see.
Yeah. Shout out Haunts. All right. Thanks so much for coming on. I'm sorry it's so short, but we'll do more of these. We'll do plenty more of these.
You're all good?
Yeah. Appreciate it. Fuck yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Rebel. No.
Yo, it's G Rebel.
Yo, it's G Rebel.
Yeah. Peace. That was good. I appreciate that. Like,
Content.
this is like when they're not on the camera and they're just talking to each other.
Oh, that's a real human. Wow, they do normal stuff that we do.
Yeah.
They fuck up. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, should I clip this on?
Yeah, whatever's comfy. You can clip it, hold it, whatever you want to do.
I just hold it.
Hold it. Did you want to say the thing about not doing math? You don't have to if you want it. And I'll probably send it to you. You can post it. I don't know if I should get involved in it.
I didn't actually do meth, guys. It was all a lie. I actually have a song called Psycho about this.
Do you?
Yeah, I'll never release it, but it was just like a therapy song where I pretty much just go in and go like, no, everyone's been saying this shit on my Instagram, so I'm gonna roll with it for this song. And like I say in it, like, maybe it'd be easier if I play along. So fuck it. I'm a psycho. I'm lying about everything. Yeah, I spent 5 years doing an NA meeting every single day just for the kicks.
Yeah. Just for fun.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
Couldn't think of anything better to do with my 17 years old self. Like,
that's what every
Narcotics
17-year-old wants
Anonymous.
to do,
Like,
Yeah.
I'm a fraud, guys.